What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports 200 Show. Today is August 23rd, 2021. I'm going to be continuing my series in this video of doing some NFL record predictions for the upcoming season. We're just a couple weeks away. So much to look forward to, and this video is of the LA Chargers. The LA Chargers, I am very, very excited for them this season. Last season, they ended, I believe, on a 3 or 4 game win streak. And, last year they had a horrible offensive line. You can make a case they honestly had a worse offensive line than the Cincinnati Bengals. They actually had the worst offensive line last season, according to Pro Football Focus. And in my opinion, they had the best value pick in the entire first round, and getting Rashawn Slater. Lots of people think Slater's going to be this next generational type of tackle or guard if they kick him inside. They also signed Corey Linsley from the Green Bay Packers, and that was honestly, in my opinion, without a doubt, the best free agency signing in the offseason. Linsley was not only the best center in the NFL last season, but you can honestly make a case that Corey Linsley was the best offensive lineman in general last year for the Green Bay Packers. Them getting 2 top talents at offensive line will drastically help the Chargers. And, if Herbert had a sensational season last year as a rookie with a horrible offensive line, you cannot imagine what it's going to be like this year. So let's get started here. They go on the road to take on Washington. I have them winning here. I know he's only played not even a full season, but I trust Justin Herbert far more than I do Ryan Fitzpatrick of your winning a game. Ryan Fitzpatrick is one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in NFL history. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. Look it up. Washington's defense is really nice, but like I was saying, with the Chargers' offensive line, it's going to be much, much better. I trust the Chargers here, more than Washington. I think Washington, they're starting to get a little too overhyped, in my opinion. I'm going to take LA here in week 1. They're going to start the season 1-0. Week 2, I have them beating the Cowboys, and I know this might be a little bit of an upset, but Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones said today he's 100%. Realistically, even though Dak Prescott's 100%, I feel like the first couple weeks might take him to get used to playing like he was last season. I think he might start off slow, similar to how Joe Burrow might start off slow for the Cincinnati Bengals. Both those guys had 2 season-ending injuries last season. I like the Chargers here. I think this will be a great game, though. Wouldn't be surprised if they lost, but I feel like this could be a fantastic game. Week 3, they go on the road to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I have them winning here. I think this will be extremely close. Would not be shocked if the Chargers maybe pull off an upset here. The Chargers nearly beat the Chiefs last season at Herbert's first start ever in week 2 last year. I honestly think the Chargers, obviously they're not going to win the AFC West, but I think it is closer than what people think, comparing the Chiefs to the Chargers. But I think this will be a terrific game. I'm very interested in this one, but I do have the Chargers losing here in week 3 to drop to 2-1. Week 4, they host the Raiders. The Raiders, they're the most average team in the NFL. That's the best way to put them. They'll occasionally have that big upset win, but they'll also have those games where they lose and they absolutely should not. I think this will be an easy win here for the Chargers here in week 4, and they improve to 3-1. Week 5, this is an interesting game because you look at their rosters. They're playing the Cleveland Browns. Their rosters have a far and away better roster. But the worst position group, not including special teams for the Browns, is, in my opinion, obviously quarterback. I'm taking Herbert over Mayfield 100% already, in my opinion. I think Herbert's going to be far and away better. Herbert right now is what the Browns wish they could have in Mayfield. He still has not lived up to that potential yet. And, normally in the NFL, when you have the better quarterback, more than likely you're going to win a game. But this is one of the situations where, despite Herbert being better than Mayfield, I just probably don't see it here because there's so much talent on Cleveland's roster. I had them dropping this game here. They dropped to 3-2. Week 6, I had them getting a win at Baltimore. Baltimore, you know what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball down your throat 24/7. Even if they're losing, they're going to still do the same exact thing. Lots of people are excited with Lamar Jackson, getting some receivers like Sammy Watkins and Rashad Bateman. But I honestly do not think that it'll be that much different from their offense in years past. This will be a great game. Jackson's one of the top young quarterbacks in the league. Herbert is as well. Have the Chargers getting an upset victory here. They improved to 4-2. Week 7 is their bye week. So heading into their bye week, they are 4-2. That is very, very good considering you look at Their first 6 games, 5 of those teams, in my opinion, are playoff contenders. So as we continue here in Week 8, they host the New England Patriots. And last season, I do not think this game gets talked about enough. The Patriots defeated the Chargers 45-0 last season. That is crazy and ridiculous, especially considering, look at Herbert. I know I'm a huge Bengals fan if you've never seen the videos before. I'm biased to admit that Herbert was better last year than Burrow. But, Herbert had the best rookie season we've ever seen. He was sensational. And they were able to shut him down, which is just crazy. I like what the Patriots did in the offseason. I feel like this could go either way. But on the safe side, I want to take the Patriots here in Week 8. The Chargers drop to 4-3. Week 9, they go on the road to take on the Eagles. And looking at their schedule, this is actually their second easiest game of their schedule. That they play the Houston Texans, which they're obviously the worst team in the league. You can make a case the Eagles are the second worst team in the league. This is an easy win. Wouldn't be surprised if they won by over 20 here. This won't even be close at all. As we continue here, Week 10, this game to me, I have no idea who will win this one. I made a list the other day. My top 5 surprise teams heading into the season. The Chargers were on that list. And if you've seen my videos before, you know how high I am on the Vikings. This is a toss-up. Out of all the games on this schedule, I think this is one of the more toss-up on their schedule here. Would not be surprised if they won. But you look at the Vikings, they got some great players in the offseason. They had a terrific draft. Wouldn't be shocked if they even won the NFC North. I know I might sound crazy, but I have the Chargers losing here in Week 10 to drop to 5-4. Week 11, they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers' defense is still going to be tough, but they are not going to be like people expect them to be. They're going to be last in the AFC North, and I just do not see the hype around the Steelers. They are not nearly as good as people think. Terrific defense, but their offense is a major question mark. And I don't feel like the Steelers' defense will be as successful playing the Chargers this year compared to last season with their major upgrades on the offensive line. As we continue here in Week 12, they go on the road to take on the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are one of my favorite teams heading into the season. There's about 5 teams I have on my list. I just cannot wait to watch this year. The Broncos are definitely one of them. If you've been a long-time listener, you will know I was stupid enough to have Drew Lock as my MVP pick last season. Clearly, that did not pan out, considering that Lock might not even start Week 1 now. But whether it's Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater, either one of those quarterbacks can be consistent. I'm not talking about great or good or really good. I'm just consistent, average. I feel like Denver is a playoff team. Their roster is far better than anybody thinks. They have one of the best young, talented offenses in the NFL. And I feel like this might be a game where the Chargers kind of slip up here. And whether it's Lock, which I think it should be, without a doubt, not Chet down Bridgewater. But I really think this should be Lock starting here for Denver. And I think they have a better chance with Lock. But I have the Denver Broncos getting the upset win over the Chargers here in Week 12. Chargers drop to 6-5. Week 13, they travel to Cincinnati, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was saying how easy this game was going to be for Cincinnati. I tried to tell him the Chargers are super underrated. You got to watch out for them. I think this will be close, but I know the Bengals have more talented weapons on offense, but you look at the Chargers' offensive line, you look at their defense, you look at Herbert. I think the Chargers will pull off this one here. Cannot wait for this one, because last year, we possibly could have saw, Herbert and Burrow Week 1, but instead we saw Burrow and Tyrod Taylor. I cannot wait for this one. Lots of people keep on talking about who's better, Herbert or Burrow. This will be a great one here, Week 13. Week 14, they host the New York Giants, and I had them losing here. And Herbert, he's a much better quarterback than Daniel Jones. And, if Herbert was on the Giants, I think they could be Super Bowl contenders. But with Daniel Jones, he's so inconsistent. But the pieces around him, it's not going to be hard to make him succeed. And I honestly think this could be a trap game for the Chargers, because you look Week 14, they host the Giants. Not a great team, not a horrible team, probably about average, maybe slightly above average. But the following week, they host the Chiefs. I think this might be a trap game here for the Chargers. And with this loss, they drop to 7-6. Week 15, they host the Chiefs, like I mentioned. I had them getting an upset victory. I definitely think it's possible. We're not really shocked at all if the Chargers would end up beating Kansas City here in Week 15. Like I mentioned, they already did it almost once last year. And I think this is going to be a great quarterback rivalry in the AFC West. Herbert between Mahomes for years to come. That's going to be a very, very competitive game. If the Chargers don't win here, I still think this is an extremely close game. But I have them winning here and improved at 8-6. Week 16, they go on the road to take on the Houston Texans. That's a win. I don't have to explain it. The Texans suck. They're going to go 0-17. There's no explanation. They're the worst team in the NFL, and it's not debatable. Get the win, improved at 9-6. Win against Denver at home. With this win, they improved at 10-6. And I feel like these last couple games are going to be very crucial for the Chargers. They want to get a possible playoff spot. And I think they're definitely capable of beating the Broncos. But I don't know if the Chargers will sweep the Denver Broncos. Would not be shocked if they did, but with Denver's inconsistent quarterback play, it makes it very interesting. But they're going to beat the Denver Broncos at least once. And honestly, I think it's better to beat them here towards the end of the season rather opposed to early on in the year, because these games towards the end are much more crucial. And to finish it off, they go on the road to take on the Las Vegas Raiders, an AFC West rival. They get the win here, and they go to 11-6. That is my prediction for the LA Chargers. 11-6. I know some people might think I'm kind of crazy having this many wins for a team who, had a horrible offensive line last season, and Justin Herbert, he was a rookie quarterback last year. He might have a sophomore slump. I'm really, really excited for this Chargers team. I think they might surprise people. They're going to be fun to watch. I would not be shocked at all if they're in the playoffs. They are definitely going to be in playoff contention. So who knows how good Herbert and the Chargers team will be this season. And my ceiling for them is 12-5, and my floor for them is 8-9. I really think this Chargers team is going to go over 500 this year and surprising people. Cannot wait for them. It's going to be really interesting in the AFC West. I think it's one of the more underrated divisions in the NFL. But, thank you all so much for listening. If you like this video and subscribe to my channel, I would really, really appreciate it. And I will see you all next time on the Sports 2 Hein Show.